So I would like to talk to you today about the very exciting possibility of bringing laptop computers into our school for 10th through 12th graders. This would cover about 200 students that would now have access to these Apple Mac laptop computers that they could use in everyday education for their school and for their learning. I've provided you today with a handout that is going to give you some of the different facts and numbers of this process and what it would look like and how it would be beneficial. And in here I have listed 5 points that are really going to give you a well-rounded idea of why I believe implementing this in our school would be so very important. Those 5 points include the problem, the solution, the cost of doing something this big, the implementation, and also the impact of what this would do on the students in our school. First of all, if we talk about the problem that we see in our school today, it's what we see in here from many different school systems and many different teachers, is that there is a lack of attendance, that students aren't coming to school, and I think that one of the main reasons that they're not coming is because they're not interested and they're not being taught in the way that they best learn. They're not interested because it's not exciting, it's not something that pulls them in and intrigues them. And so because of this, there's a lack of interest, there's a lower attendance of kids coming, and then because of this, the lack of interest, the lack of acknowledging the learning style, the lack of excitement, there's also lower GPAs and lower test scores that are coming out of our school. So that's our problem. So of course for every problem there has to be a solution. So the solution, I believe, that would handle a lot of this would be bringing mobile computing into our school and bringing laptops into our school for 10th through 12th graders. We see that these are kids that are preparing for graduation. They're preparing to go out into trade jobs, they're preparing to go to college, they're preparing to go to that next step in life in the real world where they are going to be faced with many challenges, and growing and expanding and changing technology is a huge part of that. So why would we not set them up for success by providing them with laptops and implementing a lot of the education that they're getting through that computing that they're going to learn by implementing laptops into our school day. And I believe that a lot of this will come through apps that have been created that include lesson plans for the students, for the teachers to use for the students. Through this, there are lesson plans on there, there are quizzes on there, there's tests, there's interactive games, there's interactive movies, educational videos and games, educational pictures, everything. The list goes on for what is on the internet out there as far as resources for our students and for our teachers. It takes them out of the little small classroom that they're in, and it takes their classroom literally expanded to the world. Because through their laptop they can see a video from a teacher or a professor. They can from literally on the other side of the world. They can learn about someone's culture in China from someone in China because they can access it on their laptop. And the list literally goes on with the resources that we will be handing to our students by giving them a computer to implement through what they're learning in school every day. And not only that, their assignments can be posted on there, their tests, their quizzes, their homework, everything can be put on here. Now something like this sounds awesome, but then of course the next question that comes to hand, which is on the handout, is the cost. What is the cost of something like this? Which I understand that there's a cost associated with everything, but when we look at this, I believe that Apple is the best product to go through for as far as the resources that come with it and the longevity of it. So when we look at for one Mac laptop, Apple laptop, we're looking at $1,249. Now that times 200 students it comes to a total a little under $250,000. So $249,800 is what we would be looking at to give 200 students these resources and literally change the outcome of what their life is going to look like outside of high school. when we look at the cost of that, we then move into the next thing is how would we implement this? How would we completely change what the learning process, learning style, learning day for our teachers and students look like? Part of that is, as Apple, they're saying is that for an educational standpoint, something like this to mass purchase this product and implement it in a school, that it's as easy to deploy it as it is to use it. Apple has a thing called Apple School Manager, and it's for the IT department. It allows principals, teachers to be able to go in, access everything, the apps, the lessons plans, the students, what's being viewed, everything, so that it can be deployed. Also, the actual hardware can be tracked by student, by Apple IDs that are given out to administration, to teachers, and to students. So the Apple ID really, really helps. And the list goes on for the different curriculums and things that Apple provides to be able to deploy and give these to the 200 students that would need them and receive them. Finally, the impact. Of course, this wouldn't be the first school that has decided to go this route. There's several schools out there that have done it. And the impact that they've seen is they've seen higher test scores, higher GPAs, all around test scores have just totally improved. And then importantly, like I hit in the beginning, it's the behavior and also the attendance, motivation, it's all skyrocketed and gone up. So yeah, it is a big cost, it is an upfront big price, but when you look at that in relation to what we're going to be equipping our students to do, it's huge. So I'm very excited about this, and I really think that we could change our school system, our community, and the students here because of implementing this in our school system.